Welcome on in Dragonfolk to a fun and controversial topic that we are going to be talking about today. I know a lot of people are always wondering this about their favorite game that they're trying to play, or more specifically their MMO, but we are going to go into the aspect of what is pay to win and how it is been kind of thrown about as a term for anybody who has to put any money into anything. Let's get into it. Is this game pay to win? The age old question that everyone asks when talking about their favorite game or trying to introduce a game to another player. But the real question here is, what do we consider a pay to win game? And what are people willing to put into a game that they know nothing about to catch up with other players? Now, the definition of a pay to win game is a game where paying real money gives players a significant advantage over those who don't spend any money. The specific part of that definition we will be going over today is the significant advantage part. Now, I know as a budget gamer, I don't want to spend any money if I don't have to, and normally I won't unless I get something as a gift or something of that nature. But I really don't ever buy anything from any of the MMOs I play, or even like gotchas or stuff like that, because frankly, if I know I can earn it myself and it doesn't take me too much time, usually I'm already having too much fun with the game as it is, so I have the plan to get there when I can. Now, the general public seems to have the mindset that paying real life currency to get to endgame super fast is considered pay to win. And while I can see that side, I think there is a bit more to it than just getting to endgame for me to consider it pay to win. For me personally, I consider something as pay to win when an item or even a skin that is only accessible by purchasing with real life currency will give a player an edge over others. I'm talking about something like a weapon that you need to have to defeat a raid boss, otherwise the DPS check fails, or a special armor skin that allows you to be invisible to other players in an open world PvP setting. Now, if those are available in-game and players are able to get these kinds of things through means of playing as opposed to paying, then it's fine by me, because at the end of the day, it's all about the grind for me. I like grinding out that stuff and really feeling like I earn it. Time and money are often traded, and I'm not here to police what people do with their money. That's just not my place. But if a certain part of the game, be it endgame raids, best in slot gear, experience boosters, or even item boosters, is essentially blocked behind a paywall, that's what pay to win is for me. Now, an example. Black Desert Online had a issue with this when people started to buy the ghillie suit from the cash shop to gain advantage in PvP by essentially being able to go invisible to other players in PvP zones. This suit was not available by any means other than by paying real-life currency to purchase it. Now, since then, the item is still available in their cash shop, but there is a system in place that allows players to grind for the cash shop currency in-game. But previously, there was not, which meant that if you wanted to have a significant edge over somebody else in PvP-related content in Black Desert Online, you needed to put in money to buy the cash shop currency and purchase that. And it's a skin. It's not even stat boosting or anything of the sort. It's a skin to help you hide yourself. And there was no version of it in the game other than that, so you needed to get it. And that is a big controversy. Obviously, they've changed that since, and you can now get it by means of grinding in the game, but that's what I'm talking about. And that last line there is pretty much the main issue amongst many MMO players. Because at the end of the day, player A can grind for a couple months to get that rare piece of gear so they can make their character stronger, while player B can just spend upwards of $50 and buy it from the cash shop. Now, this leads into more of the gray area of, is this game pay to win, or is this game pay to advance faster? Take Guild Wars 2, for example. A lot of players playing Guild Wars 2 all have these amazing legendary weapons that give them the best stats that weapon type can have and are by far the best in slot for your profession. To get these weapons, players will need to complete several achievements across the world and collect a lot of different currencies from different game modes, such as World vs. World or just the standard PvP. They will even need to complete all objectives on every map connected with the core game, which is well over 1,000 objectives, mind you. Granted, most of those you will do as you level your character if you didn't boost them. All of these things can be done without spending a dime. And frankly, the story you are pulled through when getting these weapons is amazing. It's not just a best-in-slot weapon anymore, it's like something you quite literally have made with your own hands. And with all that said, it takes weeks, if not months of time and effort to get a legendary weapon. Time is the currency here. Now, with player A going through months of content, they have formed a bond with this MMO they're playing, and likely has either committed to the grind and their new home, or they decided the path wasn't for them, and they decided to give up on it and try something else. They're fine with other gear, maybe, because it will give them the same stats, and it's not such a long grind, such as the Ascended gear in this case, because Ascended gear has the same stats as the legendary gear, but you don't have to go through a crazy achievement hunt to get it. Now, player B, on the other hand, just got paid, and they've been thinking about this weapon since they set their eyes on someone wielding it in one of the main cities. And once they hit level 80, they're going to drop $200 into the game and convert the cash shop currency into in-game currency so they can just buy that legendary weapon off of the auction house. Now, in Guild Wars 2, you can, in fact, purchase these legendary weapons and all of their precursors to make them from the trading post, which is the auction house, essentially, of Guild Wars 2. Now, that in and of itself is kind of controversial, but I think it also gives an opportunity for players who have a skill set in making legendary weapons to sell them for more than anything else. They're quite expensive, roughly about 3,000 some gold on there. And once again, another example that kind of ties into this stuff can be also used in Final Fantasy XIV. Another MMO that I definitely enjoy a lot of, and I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV for 8 years now. Square Enix has a cash shop for their already subscription-based game. And in that shop, you can buy level boosters or story boosters for your character. The story boost will complete the entire storyline of the game up until the latest expansion, so you don't have to go through all of the story to get to the place where all the endgame is. And a level boost does exactly what you think. It levels you to the level you need to be to access the newest expansion as well. Now, both of those together cost $50. And that only levels up one job class for your character, and with some 20-some job classes and a whole bunch of crafting classes as well, there's obviously still a lot more other classes to level. Although once people hit max level, it will almost seem like an incentive to go into the cash shop so they can just boost a different class. That way they only have to level a class 10 levels as opposed to 90 levels. Now, is it unfair to the entire community that someone just skips past the story and the beginning of the game? Is it unfair that someone can choose to spend their money on something they may or may not have an attachment to and continue to play the game they want? If player A has a legendary greatsword, but it took them 2 months to get, and player B has a legendary greatsword, but it took them 10 minutes and $200, does player B have a significant advantage over player A? Not that I could tell. I mean, I really do believe that you make a stronger connection to a game by playing it from the beginning and not skipping parts of the journey. And personally, I believe that is all that is lost when you do things like pay to advance in an MMO. And if that's the price someone's willing to pay, then I say let them. You know, no need to gatekeep people from the game simply because they want to do something faster and have the income to do it. Your journey may be longer and more full of true experience, and their experience may be a few hours of gameplay a day, just trying to have fun after a long day of work. At the end of the day, both of these players are enjoying the game their own way. And why should we judge somebody just because they skipped ahead? All that matters is that you are having fun playing. Don't worry about how other people aren't playing the game the same as you. Everyone's different. Once again, to kind of sum it all up, a lot of players believe that if someone can pay to skip parts of the game that take players a lot of time to complete, then they would consider that pay to win. Whereas I believe that the only thing that makes a game pay to win is when there is a cash shop item that is absolutely 100% necessary to be a better player than everyone else as far as stats or abilities go. I also believe that even if you do go the route of paying to advance ahead and get the best weapon or boost your character to max level, you still have a lot of learning to do. You're just learning at the end game as opposed to learning at the beginning. Although, to play devil's advocate, in an MMO where teamwork is key and knowing what you're doing when it comes to raids or party-based content in general is a must to get those endgame rewards that you so desperately wanted, that you paid $50 to $200 just to get there. You need to know how to play your class well. We will get into raiding etiquette at some point in the future, but just understand that paying that money doesn't make you good at the game either. You have all the tools to be a stronger version of yourself, you just need to know how to do it. That's kind of where the line is drawn for people, though. You know, you have players who are brand new to the game and are just level 1. They have nothing and they want to have a good experience, so a lot of the veteran players in some MMOs will essentially treat them like babies to a degree. They'll guide them through content and teach them about all the cool things that are ahead. They'll maybe even give them some in-game currency to help them get along. They'll get them genuinely excited to reach those higher levels in order to get that cool mount or strong weapon. On the other hand, though, you have the people that boost. And usually people will know they boosted based on the gear set they are using or seeing their skill in dungeons. These players are treated like that uptight, snotty high school rich kid who got a Lambo for his 16th birthday. Just know, though, that if you didn't pay for the game, you have something that pay-to-win person will never have unless they put themselves through it. You have a true deep bond with the game. And that's one of the few things I look for in an MMO. A place to call home when my world becomes deranged. But thank you all so much for watching, and I really do hope you enjoyed this discussion topic. I know it's not really discussion simply because I'm just talking at you guys, so please make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are on the matter. Now, do you agree or disagree on my point of view? And while you're down there, make sure you gently kiss that like button and subscribe for more videos such as this one, or even guides to many different MMORPGs that I cover. I'd love to hear from you all on whether or not you agree, because that's the best part about a community is diversity. Open minds win wars. Thank you again. Make sure to drink your water, eat your vegetables, and make good choices. And I'll see you all later. Be kind and nerd out.